Hello. Okay, everyone. Instead of having our departmental meetings via phone conference as we usually do or face to face, I have decided to do a web based meeting, which I'm going to convey all the information that I've received from the meetings I have attended today. We had a meeting this morning with Dean Nobles, and then I just recently left a meeting with Dr. Brand. So I'm going to shoot everything to you, and I also have Ms. Cobb scan some of these documents, and I'll email them to you as well. So first thing, we have a couple new things going on. U-Swing, Upswing, the new Student Learning Center. This is replacing our, what was it called? I forget, the online tutoring service that we have for our students. We are now using this Upswing. It's located on the Student Success Center page. What this is pretty neat. We went to orientation on it today. Students are able to log in, and let's say if they want tutoring in CJC 144, you click on the class and they have access to tutors or coaches, as they refer to them, around the world. This is also a mechanism you can use if you're interested in being a coach for our school, or a coach just through Upswing. It's a great service. So what I'm going to do is send you a screenshot by shot of how to access that. Make sure if you're teaching online especially, make sure that you let your students know about this online academic support program. Why? For us, retention efforts. As you know, they're tracking retention. They're looking at our retention. Last semester, they really came down. They highlighted us. What you want to do is make sure that you are documenting your retention efforts for your students. So one thing that we started doing was the timekeeping. If you had a student that wasn't performing or hadn't logged into your class and so long, you went into Timekeeper to refer them for academic success. You are still doing that. You will still log on to Timekeeper, submit the student's ID, the class, and make sure you send that referral. I would encourage each and every one of you, if you have any student that's falling behind, if they're not doing anything, Timekeeper. Log on under Student Success Center, Timekeeper. You log on, you refer to students. Again, this is something to document at the end of the semester when we're looking at retention and they're saying your class is 65%, you have X amount of students, where at least you can show that you reached out to these students and you referred to the Academic Support Center. Now, whether they actually attend the sessions is different, but on your side, you can show where you went into Timekeeper and you've actually referred them. Once they're referred through Timekeeper, you also want to make sure they go into that Upswing tutorial to go on to select a tutoring session. And again, I'll send you a screenshot of that. That was from today. So that's our new academic support center. They're really pushing it for online classes. Not so much face-to-face. Face-to-face, we still have the Student Success Center that they're eligible to go to, but online, really pushing it. Now, I will be very candid. When I went on to Upswing and I put in like all of our latent evidence classes, I didn't see any tutors available. However, they did say they're getting ready to do a mass hiring spree for coaches and tutors. Again, these are people from around the world. How it works is they log on. You can read a little bio about a person. I have a PhD in this. I'm a crime scene investigator here. And the student can schedule a tutoring session. Everything is done via webcam and saved. So make sure that you go into Upswing. Again, on the main page, you go to Student Success Center, the Learning Center, and you click on that. I will send you screenshots. Next thing, ACA 120, career assessment. Make sure you understand that some of your students, they may or may not be having questions about that, but understanding the two different tracks. We have the career assessment track, and then we have the university transfer track. So they're really pushing us about understanding career assessment. At our department head meeting with Dean Nobles, we had Joanne Helmer, who was the program coordinator over the ACA, come through and give us some flyers and brochures. Again, all this will be scanned to you about ACA, what it is, ACA 112, and the outline of instruction. And if there's anything that you feel they should be covering in ACA class to help them be successful in our latent evidence classes. So definitely give me any of that feedback. We're going to a new website. They're starting to work on that website development. They just updated it like 2 years ago, but they're going to a new website. Everything is going to be like cookie cutter. Everything is going to look exactly the same. So they're starting to work on that. New this semester, we are on the 10-point scale. Make sure you have downloaded the updated Blackboard template off of our website. The new scale, 90 to 100 is an A, the 70 to 89 is a B, and so forth. So make sure you have that reflected in all of your syllabi, and make sure you have the current Blackboard template. Online caps. Oh, something new. They're increasing our capacity for our online classes, which in return will affect our face-to-face classes. As you know, right now we have our face-to-face lab classes capped usually at 15. No way around it. We're going to end up having to increase that and make the accommodations as best suitable for our students and to be productive as possible. But right now, effective immediately, they have increased the online cap to 35 students. So you may have up to 35 students in your online classes. What they're doing to compensate us is any students you have after 30, after the 10% date. So after the 10% date, any students that you have over 30, you will be paid $50 a head. Again, that's after the 10% date. Any students you have still enrolled in your class after 30, so if you have 31 to 35 students after the 10%, you will be paid $50 a head for each student. That will be reflected just as overload pay or at the end. You won't get that throughout. It'll be at the end of the semester. So just be aware of that. If you're teaching online classes, you will start to see more and more students. All right. I am going to move on now to, all of that was information from our meeting with Dean Nobles. I'm going to move on now to our meeting with Dr. Brand, who was our VP here at FTCC, and what was discussed at this meeting. So we have 3 new specialized learning labs here on the FTCC campus. We have the math, the writing and communication, and the science. The difference with these labs is that it's actually staffed by adjunct instructors or instructors from these various departments that are facilitating the classes in the tutoring sessions. Math, writing and communication, and science. What may be really applicable to our area is the writing and communication. So if you have a student having problems or you have a research assignment, encourage them to utilize the Writing and Communication Center, as they are not being tutored by their peers, but they're actually being tutored and assisted by actual faculty members. Blackboard. We have, as you can see, a new Blackboard platform. We have basically two new features in Blackboard applicable to us. The new, one new thing is we have the student preview button. So when you log into your Blackboard, I'm gonna try to draw this out. When you log into your Blackboard, up at the top, you still have the edit screen, but you will see a little button, kind of like that. That button allows you to instantly preview the class from a student's perspective, not having to go to edit on. The difference with this, unlike the edit on and off, is that under the student preview, you are actually able to take the test. So if a student's saying they're having problems with this or that, you can go in, activate your student preview button, actually take a test, anything from a student's perspective. The key thing is, remember that in order to come out of that, you have to click on that exit preview. So if you go into your student preview and you log out of the class and log in tomorrow, you still will be under student preview if you fail to do the exit student preview button. Safe Assign. The other new thing that they have is, previously, if you use Safe Assign, we had to go under assignments and tools and create a Safe Assign assignment. Now this is all integrated into one, be it your writing assignments or your tests, or writing assignments. You still can't do it for Blackboard, but your writing assignments or your tests, when you actually create it, if you go under the creation button, there's a sign where you could check for plagiarism, Safe Assign plagiarism, and it's all integrated as one. So you do not have to do 2 separate assignments, a Safe Assign assignment and your regular assignment. Once you create that initial assignment, you click the Safe Assign, and it's all integrated to do that as well. New features for students, the feedback, they've made it a little more transparent or visible on Blackboard, so they're able to get the feedback section. For us, they've uploaded 180, I believe they said, new Blackboard FAQ. So again, under the faculty support website under Blackboard, there's additional questions and FAQs under the Blackboard FAQ. The other big thing, which is extremely important for our area, especially with us teaching so many online classes, is we now have Blackboard Collaboration. Blackboard Collaboration, you may access that under your course tools. If you're in Blackboard Course tools, you'll see Blackboard Collaboration. This is a web-based conference tool. This will allow you to hold tutoring sessions via web-based with Blackboard Collaboration, maybe during your office hours. If you're doing a virtual office hour, they can go in there. They're able to save it, record it. So I would encourage you to use the Blackboard Collaboration. I was actually going to try, and I still may do something, a video to share with you guys through Blackboard Collaboration, another web-based tool. School recently invested funding in that, so make sure you're actually utilizing that. That's a great resource, especially doing teaching online distance. You know, a student may be somewhere you could have, they're having problems with an issue, 8 o'clock at night, log into Blackboard, go under there and get that set up. Some new things that were also discussed is they're working on a required academic advising course that everyone would have to take. For some of you that just came on board, you've taken that, what is it, COI? I think it's COI, EOT, EIT, one of those required courses. Can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But we've all had to take that course. So they're talking about having this academic advising course, which would be required for all of us to take. They're also looking into possibly creating or recreating, they previously had this, a required adjunct faculty course that all adjunct faculty would take at the beginning of the semester to get you reacclimated with the school, inform you of any papers or forms, any new policies. So that's not in effect yet, but they're talking about that. I'm going through my notes, seeing, make sure I cover everything. Some stuff, you know. Tuition refund. Now, this may be something that comes up in your class or a student may ask you. This is a new thing with the school. Tuition refund is now based off of the individual census date from the class. So the individual census date. Prior to this, student refunds were based off of the school's overall that one census date. But now student refunds, if they're dropping a class or doing something, is based off of each individual class or whatever class that is. That's what that is based off of. Big announcement. Our dean, Daryl Nobles, is leaving. Effective October 1st, he made that announcement. And at our second meeting, we learned that they're actually going to split our program into two because Dean Nobles has like a million programs. I can't remember all of them. Engineering, public science, no, public service. Reva, help me out. She's over here. Engineering, public service, applied technology. Yeah. I don't record over my videos. I do videos in my classes as well, and I don't record, and I'm not trying to edit. I'm not going to try to make this a perfect video, because if we were in a meeting, I would have stumbled over it the same way, so you get the raw deal. But they are splitting Dean Noble's positions into two, and Dr. Brand made the announcement effective, he said, September 1st, Linda Novak, who is our current division chair, will be the interim dean. They didn't identify which area, but she will be the interim dean, so... And Dean Nobles leaves October 1st. I believe that'll be October 1st. So those were like the major announcements. Some things I just want to hit on before we get started in this semester. Your census date. Make sure you look at that census date. If you're teaching more than one class and you're teaching a variation, 8-week, 16-week, high school connections, look at that census date. Last semester we rocked. We didn't have anyone on the IT list for our census date. Make sure you adhere to that census date. When Reva sends out those schedules, you all should have sent in your schedule already, because if you didn't, you're behind. So again, for adjuncts, it's just to let them know what class you're teaching, and you put your cell phone number on there, but she does not publish that information. That's just so she has the record, has the information. You may change your cell phone number, but make sure you get Reva your schedule. Census date, the schedule, okay, 10%. Reva has already sent out the folder for us to accept that 10%. I forget what she called it. Let me take a look right here. I think it was like 2015 course stats or something like that. Oh. Yeah, okay, 2015 fall course stats. Make sure you accept that folder. 10% again, being conscious of your class and what you're doing. Make sure you have that in. Sorry, I'm trying to exit out of this now. Have your 10% in. Accept that folder. Make sure you have. If you have not, or you deleted it, because don't email us say you didn't get it, because Reva will look it up. I sent it to you on the 13th at 3 p.m. But if you don't have that link or you need it resent, call Miss Reva, because I can't send that to you, to make sure you've accepted that for stats folder to get that in. Try to make sure I hit everything, the stats, your schedule, your classes. Again, just engage. Make sure we're keeping all of our students engaged. Retention, make sure you're showing your efforts prior to dropping the student. Make sure you remember you document those 3 attempts that you emailed the student, you called the student, and maybe your third one is now you referred them to timekeeper. Document 3 attempts before you drop your student. Make sure your Blackboard template is up to date. Make sure your syllabi is up to date. Most importantly for me, make sure you're having fun with the students. Make sure you're loving what you're doing. If you have questions, concerns, I'm always here. Excuse me. We have 2 new faculty members on board with the Latent Evidence Program. We have, well, not new, but coming on. Nicole Callahan, she's been with us, but she's actually teaching one of our high school connection classes here. And then we have David Rico, who is new with us, who will be teaching the high school connections class here. I'm always looking to expand and hire more. So if you have any great applicants to refer our way, definitely send that. Also, we want to look for some people to get on our advisory board that's in the community. So if you have anyone you would like to recommend for our advisory board, shoot me an email on that. Our online crime scene investigation certificate. I sent this memo up. It came back to go ahead and go forth with. It's not fully approved. It's approved, not fully approved. We have to send it to the programming committee. But we are getting ready to submit our program, to add a new program, which is an online CSI certificate, which essentially what we're looking to do is to grow our latent evidence program by utilizing and making it more a global program for people that's currently in the field. So the prereq that we're looking for is for somebody that's already in the field. Therefore, it's not as critical to have that face-to-face online component. They're able to facilitate those labs and things that you're doing in their everyday life. So look forward to that coming out. We definitely want to still see what's going on with the IAI. Waiting for Miss Angie to get back. Let me know what's going on with that. But just to streamline, grow our program, try to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the community globally. Because as we know, the limited employment opportunity here in Fayetteville is very limited. But by making an online program, we're able to reach a much larger pool of applicants. So I think that is everything that I wanted to go over. Supplies, if you have not gotten your supply request in for your classes, make sure you get those in. I need you all to email me your combination code again this semester because I save it. So for your combination for your locker, make sure you email me your combination code so I can have that on file. We will have a new work study student working with us for latent evidence, so that information will be forthcoming. And make sure if you need help with your labs, help facilitating classes, anything like that, make sure to utilize our work study students. I'm going to try to get maybe one more on board, but we definitely will have at the minimum one. So make sure you're using them and getting that information to them. Student services, Tony Rand. Again, information just for you to share with the student. Tony Rand Center is back full effect, so registration, advising, the Student Success Center. We now have a cashier in there as well, and a brand new cafeteria. So send your students, and if you have not stopped by, make sure you stop by the Tony Rand building. I think that is it. The spring classes have appeared on our Blackboard. I'm not quite sure why. I didn't finalize our spring schedule. Needless to say, it's on there, but I'm going to go through and finalize our spring schedule class offering. So we'll get that done. And our last news is that Miss Jennifer Slish, who has been with us, done excellent work with us, works up at SBI. She recently got a promotion, so congratulations. But unfortunately, she has decided that, with her promotion and with the teaching load, it may be too much. So Jennifer, this will be her last semester with us, so we will miss her dearly, and we thank you very much for everything you have done. And I'm at 19 minutes. I think that's a pretty good time to have a little department meeting and get all this information out to you. I think I was pretty productive. If you have any questions or concerns, always, shoot me an email. or call me. Coming up in the fall on Monday, that's Reva walking behind me. Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm at Spring Lake and I'll Spring Lake here in the evening. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm here. So if you need to contact me, just let me know. If nothing else, I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm going to try to do better this semester and come by and visit some classes prior to doing classroom observations. So I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.